What is going on YouTube? Hayden here, and in today's episode we are going to be looking at a few different cryptocurrencies as well as the stock market. As usual, we'll be checking out XRP as well as Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Vong, and then the S&P 500. Lots of stuff to go over in today's video, lots of consolidation. We didn't see too many crazy things happen over the weekend, and I think that's totally okay, but we are now starting off the week hitting major resistances, and truly the way I see it is it's going to cause correction, rejection, and a price pullback to the downside, even though we're out of some major resistances here. Like, even though we've broken through price healing, I'm a strong believer we're due to head down, and I think I have the proof to back it up, to back up that claim. A lot of these cryptos otherwise look okay. I think Bitcoin, we are still eerily perfectly on track for where we expect to see it in our price prediction here. So we'll cover all that stuff. Vong, on the other hand, looks okay, starting to head up. Same thing with the S&P 500. So with that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's get right into today's episode. So guys, before we dive into the technical analysis, remember BYDFI is still doing their blast deposit and trade bonus where you can earn up to $1,500 in free bonus cryptocurrency by simply clicking the link in the description below. This is a trading incentive because, as you can tell, we're in a bear market, and bear market means less trading. So this is a way for people new to the exchange, as well as all users, to earn some free bonus cryptocurrency. It doesn't get any better than that. Truly here, you'll be able to earn up to $1,500. And the cool thing is with that bonus crypto, you can withdraw it completely free. Not the bonus itself, but anything you trade and earn, like anything you earn off the bonus, can be completely withdrawn, which is super cool. And with $1,500, I know that's higher, but things like even as small as $50 with the 10x leverage is $500, 10x on 100 is 1,000, and so on and so forth here. So you can see how it adds up really fast, really quickly. So definitely make sure to check it out with the link down in the description. Think about it. You're trading with the exchange's money, not yours. Anywho, diving into today's video, current CMC, just want to make sure this is a little bright, looks good. 28 on the Fear and Greed Index. Market is down across the board here, about 2 to 3% down in terms of the past 24 hours. So we opened up today, happy Monday, in a correction phase. Things are starting to fall. Things are starting to head a bit lower here. Past 7 days looks okay as well as we start our descent. Very interesting here. Not too bad. Really not down that much. It's actually down less for the week than we are for the past 24 hours, which isn't too bad. 28 on the Fear and Greed looks okay as well. I think we're seeing a consolidation point, which I want to cover and show you why that makes sense when we look at the cryptos. But you can see on Friday, we made a video saying, I know what's next, essentially talking about how I think we're due to head a little bit lower. I know it's not the most, enjoyable thing to talk about by any means, but it is something that we do have to discuss and go over. It is unfortunate with this bear market, but it's, what I expect. It's how these videos tend to do. You can just see the slow decline in viewers, which makes total sense here compared to when we were in the bull market, getting several more views, a couple thousand at least. I mean, I have to go back a decent bit here, but we were getting, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 views. And I know that's not a lot, but the crypto community itself is pretty small. But what that means is, to go from 3,000-4,000 viewers all the way down to, 300-400 viewers shows you the lack of interest in the market, but also the lack of, sentiment. Not many people are talking about this. Even, the news is no longer talking about it. No more NFTs, no more, new tokens, crypto tokens and things like that, which is exactly why we're seeing the stagnation happening within the market. And the less viewership is a direct role. Like if you watch my view chart, and you compare that and you overlay it onto Bitcoin's price, it's identical, which is very strange. Anywho, enough about that. You can see here, I want to start with Bitcoin. So when we look at Bitcoin here, you can see we're in this huge downtrend, descending fractal here, filling in beautifully. And you'll notice what's interesting is how beautifully we've been following this chart. Scarily, very scarily accurate. And you can see now we're at a point now where there's not much left, which is awesome. Ideally, all that's left here is this little continuation filler, and I think we're going to break after that. So there's a chance we can head lower. I am waiting for one last drop. I mean, we've been eerily accurate to this point, so I'm like, can we just continue to be more accurate? Like, let's just continue the trend. Let's make one more, educated guess that this is probably going to see a pullback here, and then we'll fill in this gap, and then maybe we'll see a break. And what's interesting and what's starting to form, which again aligns so eerily perfect with the way the markets are moving here, is here's a beautiful downtrend. Here's another beautiful downtrend. I mean, this is all pointing at what's to come. So I think, and it's interesting because this isn't a continuation pattern. So usually continuation patterns look like this. And then we see markets consolidate inside and then we break down. But this is the opposite. This is like a correction in. We have something like this where we have that market, and then usually we break out of it like that. So it's kind of the opposite. It's just a continued spiral lower. There's a very high chance this could veer a bullish breakout. I know how we enter is how we exit, but this is the opposite of that sort of movement here. It's almost like how can we describe it? A bullish divergence. So you can see how prices are moving down in theory, and the RSI is moving up. So not entirely sure how that one would react. Let's do bullish, because that might be the opposite, bullish divergence. Maybe I have it twisted here, but I'm pretty sure I have it right. Yeah, price goes down, momentum moves up, and a breakout is inevitably what happens here. So I do think this is a bullish divergence. I do think we have a regular divergence. Yeah, that is exactly what we have, just what I thought. So I think we are forming bullish divergence as the price heads down, momentum moves up. We're probably going to see a breakout, which is exactly what we have drawn here. So the new entry points, this is just starting. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking for at least maybe 1 or 2 more. That could start the bull market. It really, really, really could, or the crypto winter. So I'm kind of excited that we've discovered this. But what that means is in the very near side, the very short-term correction, very likely we're going to see these other cryptos correct, like Solana here, which is rejecting and correcting here. Again, starting to pull down. Makes total sense. Rejection off moving average, pulling down. Even though we broke outside of the downtrend here, we are rejecting off moving average, and I think it's in line with the crypto perfectly. However, keep in mind, with Bitcoin perfectly, because we're out of it, and I think it's only a matter of time before we break out of this. It's a very short period here compared to what we've been in, compared to like this. There's really not much left on Bitcoin in terms of consolidation. So what I think is, maybe Solana and these other cryptos have had a head start. They've broken out of it, and they'll reject off here, and then they'll consolidate, and then they'll start to head up when XRP does, or when Bitcoin does so. XRP, similarly, rejecting more than likely off this major resistance. There's almost some sort of newer play here. Maybe we funnel this in with the downtrend that's right here. And you can just see this consolidative pattern here. And I do think very soon we'll see that break once we fill this gap in. We'll eventually break through and outside of resistance, because I do believe we're at the end point. But in this week, I do very likely expect all these major cryptos to correct to the downside and pull to the downside. It would just be following Bitcoin perfectly. But this is like the last correction, the last expectation of a dump. And then we'll finally get to breakout. So I think like possibly this week into like next week, we'll see the lowest points that we'll see for several years. I think I'm pretty excited, but that's my guesstimate here. Vong, you can see, is breaking outside of this pattern right here. Makes sense as a continuation pattern. It's breaking out. I'd likely think that could head up higher. Anything can happen, but that's kind of typical. Same thing with S&P as we rallied up. Filling in this gap, I'd likely expect a rebound and a break to the upside off this as well. They all kind of are in line for possible runs to the upside here. Bullish momentum, which is crazy because the other crypto, like Bitcoin, the rest of them are due for correction, but then the stock market looks like it wants to head up higher. Crazy, but that's what happens. Anywho, that's going to be it for today's video. Definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.